I'm going to say this, and then I ain't going to say nothing else. A lot of us are leaving too quick because before we stayed too long. Let me explain that. When we meet someone, especially if you're over 50, especially if you're a seasoned person, and you meet someone new, and you and that person are getting along, some of us claim it's from God. Oh, you got to be from God, because how am I able to feel this way? This is great. This is wonderful. I thank God for you, blah, 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 blah. And then it comes, because it's going to happen. It's inevitable. When you meet somebody, you're going to challenge in some way. Something is going to happen to cause a disagreement. Something is going to happen to cause an argument. And in most cases, at our age, when we are seasoned, we know not to take those arguments too far. In many cases, I know with me, the first thing we do is leave. I get out your way. Listen, I'm not gonna raise my voice above a certain octane. I'm not gonna say things. I'm not gonna fight dirty. I'm not gonna throw mud. I'm just not gonna do those things, because I'm number one, I'm seasoned, and number two, I know better than to do those things, than to argue in that manner. And so, which brings myself to this point. The reason a lot of us don't make it, like when we meet these new people, I'm talking about us seasoned people now. The reason we don't make it in the first 90 days is because we get out the way. We're not for it. We're just not for all of that fussing, cussing, kicking, and arguing. We're not for it. We don't have enough invested to do it. And even if we did, that's not our lifestyle anymore. That's not the way we do things. That's not our MO. That's not how we roll. Instead, we say the disagreement, and if we see that person getting a little too riled, we looking and we like, okay, I better get up out of here. So that's the reason a whole lot of us, we just get out the way, because we leave because we are too seasoned to stay. We are not foolish enough to think that we can stay and argue and it's going to get any better. So a lot of us are leaving too quick because before we stayed too long. We were in relationships where we stayed way too long, and that turned out bad for us, which is why a lot of us at our age now are still in the market or on the market, because we stayed in those other relationships too long. So we ain't got the time. We just not gonna make the time for an unnecessary argument, or for an argument that we know it can be resolved with just a certain way you say something, with just a certain way you look, even rolling your eyes with some of us at our age. Oh, you rolled your eyes? Oh, what that mean? What that do? All right, I'm gone. You said that to me? Oh, what that mean? What that do? I'm gone. Oh, you acting like that? Oh, what that mean? What that do? I'm gone. I'm not gonna stick around for and argue with somebody and have an argument the same way I've had before. I'm just not, because before I stayed too long. And so now I know to get out the way, but sometimes we get out the way too quick. We get out the way too quick in these seasoned relationships, because what went down before, 9 times out of 10 ain't even gonna go down now. It's just a misunderstanding. It's just a wrong move. You made that move too wrong. Hey, what you doing? You said that too quick. Hey, what you saying? So with us, we gotta walk a little gentler. We gotta talk a little gentler. We can't move too fast, because when we do, a misunderstanding can occur, and you can step out be out of alignment. You won't be in alignment with the person that would be perfect for you, to go out of this thing called life with. That could be that person. It don't necessarily mean that person came from God, but we feel like they came from God, because here I am 50 and 60 years old, and I met someone as wonderful as you. And now we're not together because of a difference, a simple difference, and because of an overstep, because of an over talk, or I said too much, or I did too much, or I might have tried another race, and you don't know my culture that well, so but we like each other a lot, and we're not tripping over skin anymore. We're not making those skin decisions anymore. So we like each other, and we digging each other, and we doing all the things we need to do. But then you make that wrong move, and I didn't recognize your culture. I didn't recognize that in your culture, that's how y'all do things. In your culture, that's how y'all say things. In your culture, that's how y'all feel about things. I didn't know that. And just with a simple misunderstanding, now we ain't together no more. Now we broken up, and we in our 50s and 60s. So now we laying back and wondering, dang, am I gonna get another chance? Am I gonna get another opportunity to meet somebody as wonderful as that person? 9 times out of 10 you may, but when you do, you gotta recognize. You gotta look at the whole thing. You can't just look at part of it. You can't just look at how you feel about it, about that situation, or about that disagreement, or about that argument, because you might be one of those people who leave too quick because before you stayed too long. And you don't want to be that person. You want to be that person that realizes their age and realizes also that I'm stuck in my ways. And so I'm going to realize all of that. That way I won't get out the way too fast. That way I will realize, and I will give them a little grace. I will give my new person a little grace, because I want to give it the opportunity it deserves, because I ain't trying to go out this thing called life by myself. I want somebody to be holding my hand, or I want to be holding somebody else's hand. I just don't want to do this. I just don't want to overstep. So take it from me. Take it from me, baby. I've been out here a long time. And I'm going to tell you something. If you are 50 or above, or maybe even a little bit younger, and you met that person, and that person is a decent person, and that person is a wonderful person, they're a kind person. They're not perfect. They're not perfect, no more than you are. But when that disagreement happens, instead of being that person, and instead of being that person who leave too quick because you stayed too long, be that person who stay a little longer so you won't leave too quick. Have an amazing day.